This is a quick video that helps answer a question that one of my Patreon members has. So if you're looking for more detailed information, if you're looking for a way to really work with me one-on-one, go over, check out my Patreon page. It's in the description below. This particular Patreon member has just gotten his 750. He's gotten his auto drive, and he has honed his shell plate, which is something that I do and a number of people that are now using 750s do. And you can do that either with some kind of a surface grinder. You can do it with just a really hard piece of granite and some sandpaper. But the concept is to get the bottom of the shell plate as flat as possible, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But the problem he is having is that by doing that, he now is having trouble locking down this bolt to the point where this will advance and still not have any wobble. You can see I don't have any wobble in there. So I'm going to show you the two things you can do to help your shell plate advance once you have honed it down, because there's a couple different things that can occur. One is you might be changing the timing on it, which requires that you move your indexing block. Now I have the Armanoff block on here. It doesn't matter whether you have the Armanoff or whether you have the original Dillon one. They both work the same, which is you're going to loosen these two screws, and there is a plate or a bar kind of sticking out that the indexing block will ride on. And you want to move this forward and back. And what that will do, let me raise this up a little bit here for you, is you can see that this is the indexing ring and it is at an angle. And you want to make it so that you get a full push on that indexing ring as it comes down. Typically, if you're having trouble moving that indexing ring or moving the shell plate forward, it means you need to move your indexing block towards the user a little bit. That will ensure that you're getting a full ride on this index ring here. And for mine, I can just tell you that I'm pretty much flush on the back here, and that gives me a really good push and ensures that it's driving it all the way forward. Now the other one is a little trickier, and I'm going to show you here. It does require that I pull off my shell plate. And it helps if I have the right wrench. Okay. So we're going to first loosen the set screw that's holding this down. Okay. So I get that loose. Now we're going to remove the shell plate, and I'm going to show you sort of one of the weird side effects of, and I found this out by helping a friend of mine with his. So mine has been clean, or not clean, but mine has been surface ground on a commercial surface grinder. So a buddy of mine has a shop. He took it to a surface grinder and has ground it all down. Depending on how much you grind down, what you will find is that as it turns, there's actually a bevel to these where the ball bearing rides. There is a slight bevel to it, and so as a result, there's a pawl up front here, and the pawl is what actually advances. So it's going to catch these rings, and then it's going to slide over. Well, what happens is if you take out the bevel on these 5 holes here, then this can actually hang up on the pawl a little bit. And the normal plate, if you look at it, actually has a pretty decent bevel, so it slides off real well. And so what you want to do is you're going to mark the back side. So think of the index or the shell plate in here and how it indexes forward, and just think of the back side. And what we have done is taken a marker and marked it so that we don't screw it up, and just slightly taken a Dremel or whatever's convenient for you to just put a little bit of a bevel on the back side of each of these holes. And then what that's let it do is once you have this mounted down tighter, now you get a proper slide off of the pawl that's in front. And the reason that happens is that when you grind this down, or when you even take sandpaper to it, once you remove that black coating that's on there, you're actually increasing the, I don't know what the right term would be, but the suck down factor, the stickability from metal to metal. And so what I do is I take just a tiny bit of, I have a white lithium moly grease. Okay, now I've wiped this off to show you, so I'm going to put a little bit back on. And I put just the slightest amount, and I'm going to just put that on here. And that's just going to help reduce the friction when it's a little bit tighter. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put our bolt back in and make sure that we get our brass kicker in there properly. And now I'm going to, I'll do my best here to not be in the way, but I'm going to tighten it down till it's just moving, okay? And once I think I have it, I want to check and make sure that it feels good. And for me, that's really good, and I'm not getting any of the wiggle. Now I want to make sure that I hit that set screw and get that tightened back down so that it doesn't move. If you forget to do this, what happens is this bolt will actually auto tighten as you go. So we've got that snug down. Now we're ready to go. Everything will index properly. And you can see here, if we go ahead and run it, my shell plate is moving as it should and indexing properly. So if you've tried to improve the performance of your shell plate by honing or sanding it, and you're having problems now indexing, there are 2 possible fixes to get you back up and running. Hope this helps. As always, appreciate everybody that watches. You have a good day. We'll talk later.